big-time AFC championship going on with a 13-3 number 2 overall seed Bills going to the Chiefs Kingdom, and the Kansas City Chiefs, who were 14-2, number 1 overall seed. And we know what happened last week with the Chiefs, and we are all watching it. But I do believe Patrick Mahomes will be okay. He'll be good to go. So that's what we're basing these predictions off of today. But it is a big time game for either one of these teams, especially Josh Allen and the Bills. With that all being said, I am not impressed with the Bills last week 17-3 win over the Ravens.
Well, Bills defense was the difference maker last week. Man, they were all over it. I think that's the only reason they won.
Well, I just thought this was an explosive offense. I thought it was the most explosive offense in the NFL. I thought it was the best offense there is in the NFL. 220 total offensive yards last week. 32 rushing yards, T-Ball. I don't know how potent that is in 188 passing yards by Josh Allen. He has been terrific most of the year, right? He's phenomenal, right?
They didn't have to do much to beat the Ravens.
Well, that's because I think the Ravens beat themselves, but I'm not going to go truly into that one, except for the fact that, Lamar Jackson threw his first red zone interception that went for a pick 6 that he's ever had in his career since 2018. 49 touchdowns and no interceptions in the red zone is pretty phenomenal.
100-yarder pick 6.
Going back to the Bills' top, just explosive offense, right? I mean, everybody's going to make that whole argument. Well, that's a really good defense with the Ravens. Yeah, but before that, they were 5-0 against top defenses, and my numbers were total offensive numbers: 375 against the Rams, 332 against the Chargers, 449 against the 49ers, Pittsburgh, 334, 397 on Indy, and then 220 total yards offense against Baltimore.
Definitely can't put up that many and expect to beat the Chiefs.
And let me say this, they were 4-13 on third downs. Yeah, that's 30%. So they're the best of the league on third downs in the regular season. Number 1 at converting third downs. And
That's just one game. That's just one game.
4 yards per play is what they averaged. 10 offensive points off of 8 possessions, if you don't count the kneel down, and then another, just run the ball, clock out going into halftime, like on their 10 possessions they had. But 10 total points on these basically 8 possessions, and you scored 10 points. I get it was a windy game. I get things like that. But I'm just saying, don't sit here and tell me that this offense is so fucking explosive and so crazy because you added Diggs. Yeah, that's a great addition, but he's amazing. I love Diggs.
Explosive.
He's explosive. No, it's not. But I just wanted to throw that in there real quick because I just think that's ridiculous that people are saying, just most explosive. If you were, that would have continued against this top 10 defense, regardless if it's the playoffs, the atmosphere and everything else. And everybody does play better in the playoffs. I just think you should have seen the same thing we've been seeing all year long, right?
I mean, do the Bills have the number 1 offense in the AFC?
They sure don't. They don't even
They're
have
not the most explosive offense.
Exactly. Well, they don't have it. They're the number 2 offense in the league. Chiefs number 1. So I'm just saying. But go ahead. That's only half of my spiel.
Last time, like I said, these two teams played each other 26-17 Kansas City, and I'm pretty sure, that was early in the season.
Yeah,
and
week 6.
Kansas City wasn't even full bore. I guess you could say the same thing for the Buffalo. And the Buffalo Bills have gradually gotten better over the year. They were a very good offense all year long, but they definitely weren't the most explosive. You can check numbers on that all day and find a couple teams probably in the AFC.
Now, if you want to talk about the regular season, sure, go ahead.
But last AFC Championship appearance for the Bills was in 1994, and then guess which team it was against?
Who?
Kansas City.
Ooh, AFC Championship.
They ended up winning 30-13 to go on to lose their 4th Super Bowl in a row. And this is, the 3rd consecutive time Kansas City is hosting the AFC Championship. Like I said, the only reason the Bills were here is because of that defense last week. Obviously, not a whole lot on that offensive side of the ball. So their last matchup, Josh Allen just wasn't impressive. I mean, he can't play like that again against a team that's this good on offense and that good on defense.
But you also have to give him credit, like we did on the NFC Championship. This was 2 months ago.
And I mean, look what they've
come along.
And it wasn't just Josh Allen's fault. Look what they did in the run. I mean, basically non-existent. And the Chiefs did exactly that. 161 yards coming out of Edwards. Yeah, and it's just one of those things where...
he might be good to go in this game, and he hasn't been playing since the Saints game, Week 15.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where if you can't stop the run...
Or you can't run.
You're not going to be able to win because that's not even their best option on offense. I mean, you got Patrick Mahomes throwing the football. I don't see the Bills winning this game.
It's going to be, if you think about it, it's going to have to be solely on the shoulders of Josh Allen making plays with his arm, because they got no run game. I mean, rolling around with Singletary out there, and that has not gotten it done. 32 rushing yards last week.
I don't think it's that the Bills don't have a chance.
No,
this is going to be a really tough game for them. I think the Bills can definitely get it done, but you're going to have to be
spectacular.
On point. This is a very tough ball club, and the Chiefs, after we've seen over the last 3 years, Andy Reid is definitely molding him a new dynasty.
But not, I mean, don't take anything away from the defense of the Chiefs either, though. They played phenomenal last week.
This is going to be a very hard team to beat. Even when it comes Super Bowl time, the Chiefs are going to be a very tough team to beat. No matter who they play, Green Bay or Tampa, the Chiefs are going to win this. They're going to move on to the Super Bowl. I honestly think the Chiefs win by 10 points. And that's about as high as they get on Buffalo.
Again, Bills' run game is non-existent. If you make them one-dimensional, and as long as they can contain or shut down Stephon Diggs like they have,
which is going to be very hard to do.
Well, they have. Except for the last when they played Week 6, he had a pretty decent game. I'll give him that. But in total, he's had over the last 2 seasons that he's played Kansas City, Stephon Diggs, when he played for Minnesota, and then, of course, earlier this year when he played 7 receptions on 13 targets for 50 yards and a touchdown. And the last time that they matched up, he had 6 catches for 46 of those yards. So think about that. All those yards of the 50 yards, 46 of them, and that touchdown came the last time they met. Before that, Kansas City shut him down where he had 1 catch for 4 fucking yards. So you could see that again. But then that opens up things for John Brown and Cole Beasley over there. Tight end's okay over there.
Don't sleep on Beasley.
He's that guy in the slot that he's just that speedy guy. But I mean, he even got shut down the last time.
The Chiefs should definitely be nervous.
They shut down John Brown the last time, though.
Don't take this team lightly.
The last 2 times they've played John Brown, whether it was last year when he played for the Ravens or this year for the Bills, obviously, Week 6 again. He had 2 catches on 14 targets for 23 yards and a touchdown. I mean, good grief. That's horrible. So, I mean, if they shut those 2 guys down and make this run game non-existent, they should be good to go for the Kansas Chiefs. But there's no sleeping on anybody here.
Let's say hypothetically...
both these teams are very good on offense.
Let's say hypothetically Patrick Mahomes doesn't play.
Okay.
Do the Bills win this game?
I would put that on. It's still going to be a close game. Chiefs probably lose by 7 or 8. But it's not going to be some blowout. I can tell you that because Andy Reid's too smart for this. The defense is playing at a high level for the Kansas City Chiefs, especially that last game. I mean, they just looked so good last week against the Browns. The Browns have one of the best offensive lines, just like the Bills do. I would say, Bills win this game without Patrick Mahomes in that game.
I think if Patrick Mahomes doesn't play in this game, they lose this game.
That's what I said. If Patrick Mahomes doesn't play 1 second in this game, they lose.
That's for sure.
There's not because the playbook is limited with Chad Henne.
And that's true. And I'm not saying that's the only way the Bills do win this game.
No.
Josh Allen has, obviously was an MVP contender all day long. This Bills team, I think they have a chance at beating the Chiefs solely, like you said, if Josh Allen can start putting up some big... He's going to have to, because Patrick Mahomes is going to.
In this game, if he's good to go, and like I said, I believe he is.
I think this is the biggest challenge, obviously, for the Bills all year. Not just because it's an AFC championship game, but just because, the caliber of the team that you're playing. And then you put the importance on top of that.
And you've already lost once.
With Josh Allen being as young as he is and as fresh and new as this team is, because, we're used to seeing them the bottom rung of this division.
Yeah.
And now that it's their time to shine, when you got some pieces to the puzzle, they could start making a new run in the AFC, and this could be the team to beat for a long time.
Sure could.
Josh Allen's got to stay healthy. People got to stick around, but that's something we're going to have to see later. But as of right now, I just don't think the Bills have enough. Like I said, I got the Chiefs.
Yeah, I just don't see them keeping toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes.
I think Andy Reid's a much better coach, too.
Because, even think about this. The Browns don't have a shit defense by no means. Last week, and Kansas City didn't punt the ball 1 fucking time. They had 1 missed field goal. Other than that, didn't punt the ball 1 time. Didn't have to. And that's a little better defense, I think, than the Bills are.
And imagine if the Bills would have been clicking on offense, how much of a deficit that game would have been if they would have looked just that much better on offense.
Well, and think about it, because Patrick Mahomes was coming in with a big toe injury, and you could see him the way he's walking and throwing and running. He wasn't himself. So I just think it comes down to Patrick Mahomes playing or not. I really, truly do, because he adds such a different dimension to this team than Chad Henne does. Like I said, shortens the playbook when he's in there. Patrick Mahomes is way more talented, arm-wise, smart-wise, everything you can possibly want, mechanics of a quarterback, than Chad Henne. And if I have to put all my, marbles in a fucking whatever bag or basket, it's going to be on the Bills if Patrick Mahomes is not ready to go, because that guy, you already couldn't beat him in the regular season. He beat you on the road. Okay, let's just say that. Chiefs went to the Buffalo Bills and beat them. This is you coming to the Chiefs in an AFC Championship. Third time they've been here, not at home, but third time in a row. They know what to do here, man.
And if I'm Josh Allen, I want to be that guy that was like, oh yeah, I was left out of that.
You dethroned the king.
I was out of that MVP talk. Look at me now. But I would want to win that game, but obviously I would want to do it against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. I don't want, because it's what ifs and buts.
As me being, Josh Allen, I'd be like, oh, well, sweet, I have a definite chance of winning this game now, but I'd rather beat Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, because he's a competitor, and
if he does, holy shit, watch out, dude.
Yeah, because if he dethrones, I'm going to say that the man, the king of the castle, and that's Patrick Mahomes. We all know that. Best quarterback in the league. Next best has got to be Aaron Rodgers, only because he's not as mobile and can't make a sidearm baseball throw, because Patrick Mahomes could have been pro in baseball too. But I'm just saying, this is going to be a fantastic game. It really is. But I'm just worried about the Bills' run. If they can't make this a balanced game and you have to put all the pressure on the quarterback to do all the work, and I know Josh Allen's great. And he's increased every year he's been in the league, and they've, like you said, had an MVP season. I'm not taking nothing away from him.
We're going to see him again here come playoff
and this
time
will
next
be
year.
This will be very impressive for him to go in there and beat a less than 100% Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick Mahomes just does things other people can't do, including Josh Allen. So I got the Chiefs as well. I think this is going to be a damn good game. It's either going to be a super shootout, and it's going to be the best game you see in years to come.
I think this is definitely the best possible, other than the Steelers, this is probably the best possible matchup for the Chiefs.
Yeah. This could be the new, think about it, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning whole thing. These two quarterbacks here in the AFC, right? Battling out every year who goes to either the championship or to the Super Bowl. That's what I'm saying. These guys I'm comparing them to. This could be the next Tom Brady, Peyton Manning.
Could be. You'll have to stay tuned, guys, for those Super Bowl outcomes and these AFC and NFC championships, guys. We're always going to keep it coming to you. That is the AFC championship. We both got the Chiefs. Both got the Packers.
And the NFC.
That means they're going to probably be meeting up. We'll have to see. Tell us who you got. Always like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Thanks for everybody that's been commenting.
Yeah.
We love
Good or
it.
bad. Good or bad.
We love bantering with you guys. And as always, I'm T-Ball.
And I'm Mr. Bradley. You stay classy, YouTube.
Thanks for stopping by.